So to understand how dropshipping works, all you really have to understand is how any major retail store works. So let's take a look at the offline world and picture a store like a Target or a Walmart or a Dick's Sporting Goods, or probably 95% of the stores that you would see if you went to a local strip mall or shopping mall. Now, guys, my name is Anton. I'm coming to you from my company, Dropship Lifestyle. And as you could probably imagine, I get a lot of questions from people who are interested in dropshipping, but that don't even have a foundational level yet, which is why I wanted to put together this video, which is going to be all about dropshipping for beginners. What I'm going to do is take you through all the steps that kind of you'll have to go through if you want to get into this business, or maybe you're just interested, you want to know more about it and understand how it works. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to use the comparisons to things that, again, everyone understands, which would be a traditional retail store. And I'm going to write that down, okay? Dropshipping is basically, especially the way we do it, equivalent to retail. Now, picture when you go into any of those retail stores, right? Let's just say you go to a local strip mall and you go into a pet store, okay? When you go into that pet store and you're looking around on the shelves, you might see different brands of dog foods, you might see different brands of dog toys, you might see rain jackets for your pets, whatever. The thing that you'll have to realize is that all of these products most likely are not made by that store. You simply walked into the store, the niche, right? This translates to our niche in dropshipping, but you walked into a store based on the type of thing you wanted, and then you saw products for sale, but those products were not produced by that company. Now, this is the same thing. This is the easiest way for anyone to understand how dropshipping works. When you build your online store, it could be the same thing. It could be a pet store, okay? So I'm just gonna write pet store, and I'm gonna write online. Now, what's the difference here? Honestly, not much. You're still selling the same type of products. You're still selling other people's products because you build your brand as yournamepetstore.com, whatever it is, and you're still selling probably the same products or very similar ones to what's being sold in the pet store, and I'm gonna write here offline. So what's the actual difference? Well, the positive part is that this person that opened the offline one, right, that's not dropshipping, they had to invest all of the money and time into finding the perfect retail location, into building out their storefront, into hiring employees, into buying cash registers and shelving and everything you need to build an actual retail store. Where with the online version, you still need to put in the research, you still need to put in the work, but you basically have access to the same products, to the same things that you could sell, except you could spend $29 a month to build a website. Now, dropshipping doesn't have to be online, but most people, when they're using this as a method of fulfillment, they're doing it through online stores, and they're using a program called Shopify. Now, Shopify, maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. They've exploded in the past few years in a good way as becoming the leader in e-commerce store builders. So what this person would do is, again, pick their niche, which in this case is pet supplies. They would then build an online store using a program called Shopify, and then they would establish relationships with all of the manufacturers and all of the brands and all of the companies that make these products, and they would sell them on their store. Now, a couple things that you also might have heard of, and if not, that's fine, I'll introduce you to them. There's different ways to build relationships with these companies whose products you want to sell. Now, one that's very popular right now is using a website called AliExpress. AliExpress is owned by Alibaba, and they basically are a way to connect you to suppliers and manufacturers all around the world, mostly in China. And if you wanted to sell random unbranded products, okay, one method of dropshipping is selling unbranded products. You could use a website like AliExpress. You could dropship from China on your Shopify store to your pet store customers. Now, the other way, which is what we like to do, is working with the actual established manufacturers already. So the same ones, and plus more, it's a huge benefit, we'll talk about it in a minute, that are sold in your traditional pet stores, we would want to be able to sell all of those products on our website. Now, one of those benefits to doing it online rather than off, besides saving, the 100 to 200K it costs to open an offline store, besides saving that money, we also can have a bigger product line, whereas the offline store space is limited, right? So when someone's doing traditional retail, they can't have 20,000 different products in a strip mall in 2,000 square feet. But the person online, you could have every pet product ever made if you wanted to. You could have 50,000 different products for sale on your website because you have no overhead expense. because again, your website's online, so what's your overhead? $29 a month, and your products are coming from people that you are not actually having to buy them from until you sell them. So next huge benefit. Whereas the offline store, right? Again, using this for contrast, because everyone knows how retail works, or most people know how retail works. Whereas this store, if they want to carry 100 new products, they have to buy 100 new products. If this store, your online store, wants to do that on the dropship model, then guess what? You get to list all of those products on your website. So basically put them on your virtual shelves, on your virtual storefront. And then once someone buys from you, you ship to the customer. So with traditional offline retail, or if you had a warehouse, with this model, you buy product. Next step is you sell the product to your customers. Next step is you keep the difference. Whatever's left over, right? Between what you sold it for, what you bought it for. In traditional retail, that's how you make money. And then of course, subtract all your overhead expenses, the cost to build out your store, the cost of employees, the cost of everything it takes to build one of these businesses. Now, with this model, if you're leveraging drop shipping, it flips. So with this, we actually start by selling the product. Step one is we sell the product. After the customer buys it, the money is transferred through Shopify payments, goes into our bank account. Then we buy the product from those brands that we have relationships with. The supplier ships that item direct to our customer. And guess what? We keep the money. So while it looks very close and it's just one little thing flipped, it makes all the difference. That's why another reason dropshipping is so popular right now for beginners, because it doesn't take a ton of capital to get started. I have other videos on how much it actually does cost, and I'll link to that above if you're curious what the startup costs are for dropshipping, but it's very, very low in comparison to the way it used to be, the old way. Now, let's talk about a few other things that will help you kind of understand dropshipping, moving forward. Now that you understand just the foundation, you really are a retailer. Again, if you do it the way we do it, you're working with actual manufacturers and brands that produce products. You're selling their products on your Shopify store. After you sell them, you're buying them, then you're keeping the money, okay? Well, what happens after these relationships are built, right? What happens when the offline retail store gets a whole bunch of products in there? Or what happens when you build your pet store online and load it up with products? Well, that's not a moneymaker yet, right? You have to get people to your store. So with drop shipping, you have to actually run ads online, meaning you do paid advertisements. Traditionally, that's the way we like to do it, to put your pet store in front of people that are interested in pet supplies. When you do that, they go to your website, they buy online. Now, if you want some other comparison, that would be like if you open this offline store in your local town, maybe you would run ads in the local paper that goes out every week, or maybe you'd get a billboard, or maybe you would even do online ads to people locally. But with the online store, it's no different. You still need to get people to find you, except with this, it's 99% online advertising that drives people to our website. Now, we're not going to get too deep into anything in this video, because again, this is kind of a beginner introductory level thing. But what I do want to clarify and stress is that drop shipping, especially now in 2018, the way a lot of people are talking about it is it's so easy because it is a website and you don't need, all this stuff as with the traditional offline business. And while that's totally true, it's night and day comparison as to which is easier to do. I don't want anyone that's thinking about drop shipping or thinking of starting it to think that it's just something that, spend a few hours, click a few buttons and become rich. Because think about all this work, right, that the traditional business owner had to do, the traditional small business owner, between, again, finding that perfect space, between building it out, between dealing with the local town or city to get all your permits in place, between building all these relationships, hiring employees, again, all of that. That is what it used to take. Now you can do it online, which happens faster. It could be outsourced. Now you can establish these relationships without putting up money. Now you can drive traffic from all around your country or all around the world to buy from you. So there's much more potential than ever before to build a business for less money and to get more buyers, because this is 100% more profitable than this. I wouldn't recommend anyone do this anymore. So we know that, right? Dropshipping is clearly a great starting point and a way to make a lot of money doing a lot less work than the traditional retail path. But understand, please understand this. If you get one takeaway from this video, that dropshipping still is a real business. You're not just a dropshipper, you are a retailer, okay? If you do this, you are a retailer. And if you want to succeed, and if you want it to work, and if you actually want to profit off this business model, just always think back if you think it's hard, right? If you think, oh, this is too much work, think what this guy or girl had to do when they opened their pet store, if that's your niche, and then think about how easy you have it and keep working, keep pushing, because I promise you right now in 2018, there's more opportunity, there's more possibility, there's more upside than ever before, but it doesn't mean it's ever gonna just be handed to you or happen after you build a Shopify store and upload some products. It takes real work, but a lot less work than these people had to do. So I feel like everyone that is interested in dropshipping and ready to commit, should be grateful, because this is something that wasn't available to anyone even 10 years ago. So massive opportunity, guys. That's kind of the easiest way that I can explain this. If you're interested in more information, if you want to go deeper into this, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/dropshiplifestyle. Check out my website, dropshiplifestyle.com. And yeah, we have been posting videos on YouTube for years now. So lots of stuff for you to go through. Click around, enjoy it. And when you're ready, click over to dropshiplifestyle.com. You'll find a bunch of free resources there as well. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, please give it a sub. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.